And this is also a cowardly thing to do, right? But who cares? Who's talking about that? Let's not talk about that. Hey fam, how are you doing today? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Tobi Achudume. Today we are going to be talking about self-sabotage and why we do it. So sit back, get a glass of your favorite drink and let's go. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, you're so welcome. I am super excited to have you here. So here we talk about topics, tips and tricks that would help us grow fearlessly to the best versions of ourselves. So to be a part of this and not miss any other videos that we will talk about on personal development and growth, then you should stick around, click the subscribe button and have fun with us. So let's get into today's video, self-sabotage and why we do it. So first, let's start with what self-sabotage is. I'm going to read my notes because I don't want to miss any point. So self-sabotage is when you intentionally take an action or even an inaction that undermines your progress and goes ahead to prevent you from accomplishing your goals. So in simple English, it is when you hinder yourself from actually achieving success. Yes, that is what self-sabotage is. Now, saying this or giving this definition, you're just thinking, why would I use my hand to destroy my success? Why would I be the person that stands in my way of accomplishing success or achieving success? I hate to break it to you, but we do this a lot, more times than we think we do actually. So you just get to a point where you see that things are going well, things are working out, everything is going great, and you just by yourself sit down and think, how can I spoil this? The problem with self-sabotage is that while the action or the inaction is intentional, why we are doing it is not because we want to sabotage ourselves. It's from a completely different thing, which we're going to get into very soon. But what I'm trying to point out with this is that we actually do sabotage ourselves more often than we think we do. And we do it for a lot of reasons. Sometimes you are just the weapon fashioned against yourself, stopping yourself from prospering. It's not villagers from somewhere. It's not people in your village. It's not issues of life or anything. It's just you. You are the problem. This video is going to be in two parts. Today we're going to look at why we do it, and then in the next video we're going to be looking at how to stop sabotaging ourselves. So let's get into today's video. Number one, why do we self-sabotage ourselves? It's childhood trauma. So a lot of times we underestimate how bad the trauma that we had growing up affects us. And because most of the interactions that we had as children served as our first interactions with human in general, I was going to say human interaction. This plays a huge role in how we grow up and view interactions, right? It plays a huge role in how we then interact with ourselves, because the definition that people give to us when we were younger, when we were children, is what we grow up to believe, except you are intentional about working against the negative things that people have said. It is going to be a huge stumbling block for you going forward. So a lot of times we have this childhood trauma that we have not dealt with, that we have done absolutely nothing about, that then starts to work against us when we start to see some form of success that we're achieving. So if you heard so many times when you were growing up a lot of negative things of how you cannot do this, how you cannot amount to any success, how life is difficult and all of this, that is how you grow up. And so when you start to see the opposite of that happening around you, or happening with you or for you or to you, it becomes difficult for you to accept that this is your life. And because you are afraid of what that can turn out, the fall from that kind of grace to grass is going to be epic. And so before that happens, you already want to mitigate the result by falling gradually. That's what we're trying to do. And so this is one of the reasons why we sabotage ourselves, because of trauma, childhood trauma, because of things that we have heard growing up, because of things that people have said to us. The problem is that most of the things that people say to us, they forget about it. There are lots of things that you would randomly remember that someone said to you, but when you tell them that they said this to you, they cannot even remember saying it. And so if they cannot remember saying it, as difficult as it can be, I know it's difficult, you need to be intentional about also forgetting those things and just putting it on them as being ignorant at the time that they said it. So as a result of this, you go ahead to disqualify yourself from the success that you see yourself getting into. That's one of the reasons why we sabotage ourselves. Number two is because of difficult relationships as an adult. So again, everything just has to do with interaction with humans. So relationships growing up when you are now an adult or something, and you spend so much time in a negative environment where all you hear constantly is how things cannot work out. There are people that you need to stay away from, not because they are bad people, but because the things that they say and the mindset that they operate in is negative. Yes. So if you are constantly in an environment where you are put down all the time, where you are talked down on all the time, where you are devalued, where all you hear is how life is hard, life is difficult, oh, things are terrible. All you just hear is how everything is bad and there is nothing good happening anywhere around you. When you start to see things that are good happening around you, it causes fear. You're afraid of success. That's what we call fear of success, actually. You're afraid of the success that you see coming. But because you're used to an environment where all you hear is negativity, it becomes difficult for you to handle it. And again, we go ahead to disqualify ourselves from these things because we don't know how to handle it. We've never learned how to handle success. You've never seen or imagined a life where you can be successful. And so when you start to see it, and this is very... Finish the sentence. When you start to see that, it is difficult for you to accept. And this can be very tricky because one thing is for sure, we want to work towards success. Another thing is us being ready to accept the success when it comes. That's the mindset that you need to work on. And all of this works with the mind, right? It's a mindset thing. If you train your mind is like muscle or is muscle. I can't remember how it is said. But if you train your mind to always think negative, you're building muscle. You're building your mind to be a negative house. You're building your mind to always be in a negative situation. So that is what is strengthened in your mind, right? It's just strengthened by negativity and how things are not going to work right and everything. So when you actually now start to see people that value you, people that respect you, people that treat you like a human, people that see the potentials that you have, you are kind of rejecting it. You repel it because you're not used to it. You repel it. And so this is another reason why we sabotage ourselves. And I'm just saying this because if we're going to start treating self-sabotage, you have to know why you're doing it. If you don't know the cause, you cannot know the solution. Number 3 is lack of faith in yourself. Yes, lack of faith in yourself. It's a real thing. There is a problem with us not trusting ourselves to do things. And this comes from a lot of things. This comes from making promises to yourself about the things that you want to do, the things that you have set your mind on, these many goals that you have set and you have done absolutely nothing about. And so when you continue to set goals and not do anything about it, you are losing trust in yourself. And so self-sabotage also comes from you not having faith in yourself. You have faith in every other person, every other thing except in yourself. And I hate to break it to you again, but lack of faith in yourself is a lack of faith in God. If you do not trust yourself to do the assignments that He has put in your hand, you don't trust yourself to do the goals, to complete the goals, to achieve the goals, to live the life that He wants you to live, then it means that you don't trust God, because if He has put that in you to do and you're saying you can't do it, then you're doubting Him. Think about that. So there are times when you actually know that this is what you need to be doing. You're very clear on doing this thing. It is certain that this is what you need to be doing. But then for some reason, you just begin to doubt yourself because you're asking, why would this assignment be mine to do? Why would I be the person to achieve this thing? How on earth am I supposed to be the person? How in the world am I the qualified person to do this thing? That's not your business. It's not for you to answer all of those questions. What you need to do is just work on the things that you want to do. Just focus on the things that you want to do. When you start to think of why, how, when, all of those things, what you're doing is disqualifying yourself. And so because of that thought, because of that mindset, you're already doubting yourself. And doubting yourself is going to cause you to do things either intentionally or unintentionally that is going to stop you from actually seeing what you need to see, the success that you need to achieve. And this is also a cowardly thing to do, right? But who cares? Who's talking about that? Let's not talk about that. So when you don't believe in yourself, when you don't trust yourself to do the things that you need to do, the things that you know you are able to do, then you start to actively do things that would stop you from doing those things. You actively start to disqualify yourself by doing things that you shouldn't do, which is a form of self-sabotage. So when you see success approaching, you actively try to derail it. You actively do something to stop it from coming to you. You're supposed to start a new business and everything is working out. People are signing up. People are ready, buying into the idea, buying into the vision. And then you just start to chill out about it. You're not talking about it as much. You're not doing things about it as much. So that when there is a form of failure that comes from it, you can say, I actually said it. It's not me that's supposed to do this thing. Like, how would I have been able to do this? That's what we do. And that is another reason why we self-sabotage. You don't have faith in yourself. And not having faith in yourself means that you don't have faith in God, because God lives in you. What we fail to realize with self-sabotage is that when you self-sabotage with your goals, it doesn't just affect your goals, but it begins to affect every other part of you. Every other thing about you is affected by self-sabotage, because self-sabotage stops you from achieving success in your goals. It then moves on to stopping you from achieving success in every other thing. So say you have gotten a new promotion at work, you're asking yourself, how in the world am I supposed to have done this? And you sabotage yourself there as well. You have a new relationship that is working out and you're asking, how am I the person that is having this great relationship? And you begin to stop it. You begin to actively do things that would make your partner to see you as not what you are. So self-sabotage doesn't just affect us in our goals, visions, dreams, and all of that. It kind of seeps into every other aspect of our life. Next week, we're going to be looking at how to stop self-sabotage so that you can actually achieve the success that you want to achieve. Thank you guys for watching this vlog. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comment section if you did. Give it a thumbs up. If you did, share with your friends and family. Leave me a comment on any points that resonates with you or any points that you would like to re-emphasize or something that you even want us to know about self-sabotage. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Till next time, bye.